Welcome to Ready Set RC, and today we are going to do a size comparisons between the Losi Mini 22 Drag Car compared to the Traxxas 4Tech 2.0 and the Losi Mini B. So this drag car, the platform is based off of the Mini 22. So just showing you guys the size comparisons between this and the standardized 1/10 scale on-road. You guys a few more angles so you can see the differences between the three, and you're going to be able to find some additional bodies that will work for this, probably within the Tamiya lineup. I know Proline has a drag body currently out for this. It's a Mustang body, but if you're looking to shorten the wheelbase a little bit, Tamiya may be the line that you want to check and see, and it's going to be their M chassis line. I've been doing some research. I haven't found one that I like, but the dimensions work. A lot of the dimensions work with the width and with the length. It's just, I'm not too much of a fan of some of those bodies that they have available under the M chassis line. As you guys can see from this view, the length is almost spot on. The wheelbase dimensions are a little bit off on them. For the Losi drag car, we're looking at the longest length for this is the 239 millimeter wheelbase. For the Traxxas 2.0, we're looking at a 288 millimeter wheelbase. We're gonna get a little crazy. Let me just swap the bodies and so you can even see what that looks like with the two. Yeah, this is a standard 1/10 scale RC, and you guys can see it's not gonna work. It's definitely a longer wheelbase that you're gonna see on the Traxxas 4Tech 2.0 or any 1/10 scale standard 190 millimeter size bodies. It's not going to work for this car. Taking on the width, you guys can see from the inners, it's almost spot on except for these. It's just a wider track width with the tires on the Traxxas 2.0, but taking the inner part of the wheels, you can see that it matches up almost spot on in the front. In the rear, the Traxxas 4Tech track width is just a wider vehicle in the rear. And just giving you guys another angle, I'm trying to match, you know, the rear tires as best as possible. And you guys can see it's just a longer car with the Traxxas 4Tech. Now for you guys that were looking to take the Mini B or even the Mini T and just simply, I guess, throw a wheelie bar on it and try to convert this into a drag, you guys are seeing where the size difference are between the two. I would have to say this mini drag car, if you bring it into probably the shortest wheelbase out there, and let's just match up those front tires a little bit. I'm gonna take a stab at it. It's probably gonna be closer to the Mini B at that point. So what I mean is if you move the rear mounting, the transmission mounting for this car all the way up to the shortest point right here, at that point, you're probably at the level of the Mini B and the Mini T. There are still two more additional mountings that make this car a little bit longer than the Mini B and Mini T. Just showing you the Mini B's chassis underneath. You guys see it. There's nothing there. There's nothing to extend, nor is it as long as the drag car. And I'll show you guys those two together. So you're seeing that as best as possible. Kind of that mounting in between right here is where it's probably going to be as close as possible to the same sizing between the two. Now, is it possible to take the front and rear clips and then take the chassis from this and convert it to it, get the side guards and convert it into the Mini B? Convert it and then convert it into the drag car? Yeah, that is possible. So if you are going to do it, that's one of the options that you could do. There are some other modifications that you're going to possibly need. The bracing up here is a little different. Remember what I was stating before, the track width between the two. So the arms between the two are different as well. As you guys can see, the track width between the two cars, the drag car is definitely a more narrow car, so even the arms are going to have to be swapped out because the arms are different between the drag car to the Mini B. My thoughts, if you like the drag car enough, I wouldn't go through the conversion, just buy the drag car. there's going to be a significant amount of parts. It's not as simple as taking the front clip and the rear clip of the Mini B or Mini T and slapping it on to the drag car's chassis. There's still a little bit more that needs to be done, unless you don't mind driving a car that has a slightly wider stance than the drag car. Maybe that will help. And I believe there's going to be some other changes that you'd have to do with this as well. So at that point, I'm almost to the point where it's just best to just buy the Mini drag car. And just trying to give you guys another angle as to what that looks like in regards to the wheelbase. I'm matching up the rear tires as best as possible. You guys can clearly see there is a significant length difference between the two cars. And for those of you guys that have not seen a Mini B underneath, I've converted mine to brushless, so that's why I have the brushless setup. But just so you guys get a better idea as to what that looks like underneath, this is what you're looking at with the Mini B. You're seeing it's fairly similar, just a shorter chassis, so everything's tucked up a little tighter in there. But I had converted it over to the 6,000 kV motor. I'm running the SR215 because I only needed 2 channels for this car. And I'm running the stock servo still in this, which is apparently the same servo that's in the drag car as well. So in conclusion, we've done a comparison between the Losi Mini Drag Car to the Traxxas Fortec 2.0 and also to the Losi Mini B for size comparisons and some overview in regards to the chassis differences between this and the Mini B. But we're going to leave it here. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok for our latest posts to the channel. This is Ready Set RC signing out. Thanks again, guys.